guys, I hope you're doing well. Sorry if I look like I've been crying and my voice is all over the place. I think finally, after 25 years of never having allergies, I'm starting to get allergies. I took a Claritin. I feel kind of sick, so sorry if I sound phlegmy and gross. I have some tea, so hopefully that'll help to, clear up the stuff, and I have tissues by me. But who cares about that? You're not here for that. Eternals. They teased it in that Marvel see you at the movies, whatever trailer they dropped, and now we got an actual Eternals trailer. I'm so excited. This frame already looks amazing. So I think I want to go through all the characters before we actually start it. Okay, so that's Kumail Nanjiani. God, I'm sorry. This is Kingo. I think this is Makari, who's played by Lauren Ridloff. This is Gilgamesh, and that's Ma Dong-seok. This is Thena, Angelina Jolie. That's Rob Stark, or Richard Madden, who's Icarus. That's Salma Hayek as Ajak. That's Gemma Chan as Cersei. That is, I believe, that's Leah McHugh as Sprite. And that's Brian Tyree Henry as Fastos. And that looks like Barry Keoghan as Druig. So I have the cast list right here. I'm learning more and more about them every day, and I hope this trailer will help to also show me more about these characters. I'm so excited. Holy shit, look at that like ratio already. Let's get into this. I'm so excited. Let me make sure this is 1080. Brightness. And I believe, this is directed by the girl that did Nomadland. I'm blanking on her name. So is this like thousands of years ago? Whoa. Whoa.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Looks a little sad, but yes. Ooh. Oh. Whoa.
We have watched, unguided. We have helped them progress and seen them accomplish wonders.
Whoa. This November.
Throughout the years, we have never interfered.
Why?
Until
Ooh, I love the gold of their hands and stuff. Yeah, he's a Bollywood star. Wow. I think that's Black Knight. Why are we saying goodbye? We just met them. What does it mean? Wow.
Thank you for this. Oh, you're welcome.
So now that Captain Rogers and Iron Man are both gone, who do you think's gonna lead the Avengers?
I could lead them.
Okay, so they're referencing them. Okay, wow. Way to like just throw a wrench into everything. Holy fuck. Wow. What a trailer. This is so cool. This is so dope. Wow. The end of the world. So again, they're mentioning, this is I guess an appropriate song because they did mention at the end of it, it's like we've never interfered despite all like the craziness. But now suddenly they are, and I wonder what that is. Because it's not Thanos because he's just not here. So is it going to be Kong the Emperor? I don't know. So this is obviously like olden times. This is a very beautiful shot. I wonder where they shot this location because this is nothing like I've seen. It's gorgeous. That's definitely not America. He looks too pretty to be like a struggling Neanderthal type person. You know what I mean? Is he a little too pretty? That's what I think. I love this gold etching. I didn't realize that all the gold etching was going to be for all the characters. I don't know much about the Eternals. I think they're supposed to be, I know there's like the Celestials, I think. And I guess these are just like, they're kind of like gods. And I guess they all get their powers from like a similar source because they all have that, like, I think Salma Hayek's character showed that she had like this gold sprawling. And then I know Angelina Jolie has like this, her character Thesa, I think, has this like gold woven light sword, and it's just very cool. I'm very excited. I love the way that appears. That's just gorgeous. Though it's very strange. It's not like, I guess it's a little aerodynamic, but like there's no engine, there's no anything. Is it run on this gold magic? It just looks like a weird like monolith turned horizontally and just gliding through the air. It's a very interesting look. So I didn't know that Icarus and Cersei were a thing. So that's good to know. Isn't it? There's something about the way he looked at her. I don't know if that's like a loving look. It looks, I feel like there's a part of him that's like doubting. I don't know how to describe this look. But he's like, this is it. He's like, this is where you want to settle down and be together. Like, I love this woven. So even their clothes are made out of this like gold light liquid. It's gorgeous. I love the way it like sews her outfit, and I love this hallway. There's something about like the green and the gold that gives me a lot of Loki vibes. But I like it a lot. I think Angelina Jolie looks really good as a blonde. She just looks so like well cut and fit for this role. I love this etching. It's very pretty. Though it's funny, some people are saying that like despite them being from space and having this like kind of unique look and with this gold like etchings, they still sort of go to like the same seamstress as the Avengers do and as everyone in the MCU do. So I think it's funny. Selma Hayek looks stunning. I think the blue and gold really complements her. This helmet that she has, I don't know what's going on up here. I don't know if it's like a wing or like a weird ribbon, but the way it's like cutting into her jaw here, I think it looks really nice. Her shoulder pads look great. There's a nice little V. I think she looks stunning. It's funny because I saw her in Hitman's Bodyguard, and I'm going to see her again in Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard, and she's a little more like crazed there because for most of the period she's in jail, and I think even in Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard she has like these like funny white streaks that make her look a little more eccentric and a little wild because she is married to Samuel L. Jackson's Hitman character. So it's so nice to see her look so beautiful here, and it looks like they're collecting samples in the background, unless those are just like, no, those look like samples. Those look like little, it's like when you display something in a mall. I just went to a mall for the first time in a very long time. There was one in Norwalk, Connecticut that got built. It was supposed to be a big deal, but then the pandemic hit, so not a lot happened, but I went to it and it was very funny to like be back in a mall and like having like that lighting reminds me of it. I don't know what he's weaving here. And I don't know if that's like him doing it because it looks like he's like using his power. So maybe his power is like to create animate pictures. Oh, I didn't even notice that sprite's right there just chillaxing. But I don't know what he's trying to show here. Is this like the galaxy? There's something in the way it's like being woven. It looks like gold thread that's really pretty. But then it expands and shows the logo. So I'm wondering like, what are they explaining here? Are they like saying like in all like the 9 realms that we have seen, you know, not 9 realms because they're from space, and 9 realms is a Asgard reference to how the world is constructed. But, you know, it looked like they were like expanding the universe and the shapes. But I really liked how it fit into the Marvel logo. And like, I think these guys are supposed to be like space royalty. So I wonder how they're going to feel like initially going into like this life and just being kind of like very humble and modest. But I guess there must be something fulfilling because Cersei looks so happy to just be collecting crops and to be just doing very simple things. And even here, I don't know whose hand that is. I don't know who's usually wearing gold, but they're able, I guess, to generate water through these like little runes that they're able to like melt into the ground. And I wonder if the water then it like not evaporates, but like gets like absorbed into the dirt so that the plants can grow. Does the gold etchings, can they still be found in the ground? Like if I just started digging up that area like a few thousand years later, will I still be able to find like these weird gold etchings? Like is it like use like gold paper or whatever to like make something really shiny, or is it just going to dissolve because it's magic? Because there's something in the way that it's sitting there. I don't know if that's true or not, but it looks like you can, manipulate it. But now it looks like the civilization that they joined in this desert area has become way more advanced since they arrived. So even though they said they weren't going to meddle, they are meddling by existing and visiting. And I wonder who is receiving that knife and for what purpose. And that also looks like blue and gold, which looks like they're like paradise land later on. Okay, we have helped them progress. Okay, so you're allowed to help them progress. But to what end? And why have you chosen this world out of so many? And what were you doing cutting up all these things? Were you just having fun? I love the staff. It looks beautiful. And she looks so regal. It looks like they just made like a Themyscira or like a Garden of Eden or, one of those like famous places. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. But I wonder why she's like cutting them up. I like the way they drape. It's really pretty. And I love the green color. It's also very much like their ship, but it's a lot more dimmed down. But she looks, I don't know if she's unhappy. Her eyelashes look amazing. This thing is not like entirely sitting on her head appropriately, but it still is a nice look for her. I think Angelina Jolie looks very pretty. I just saw her in Those Who Wish Me Dead, I believe it's called, where she plays a firefighter, though a forest firefighter specifically, not just one who goes on red trucks, one who like parachutes from planes and helps to, put out fires in Montana. And she looked really good there with the bangs. I really missed her with bangs. I don't think I've seen her in bangs since Salt. And that was a while ago, so I was really happy to see that look again. But she looked very, even though she was still quite gorgeous, she had a much more modest look because she was like kind of one of the boys and a risk taker and had like damage because of some trauma she experienced. I won't spoil it for you if you haven't seen it, but it's a pretty good movie. I had a lot of fun watching it. So I'm glad to see her here again. So it looks like they just built Rome in a day or whatever. It's amazing. But it looks like they said that like they're able to help them progress and they're happy to see them make such wonders. But it looks like they sort of did this mostly on their own for like fruition. Like they played a big role in making it so they can make this ginormous palace, which also has a hint of their like hidden language. And the way that looks, I wonder if this looks very like Doctor Strange's like gold magic, like the Eye of Akhenaten. I forget what it was called, but the thing that held the time stone, it had very similar etchings. And the way you can see like Doctor Strange's like headquarters, I'm blanking on the name, but like if you look outside the window, there's like a symbol that looks very similar to that. So I wonder if they have like a similar type magic that maybe people on Earth were able to learn through them. Because it's probably, because I think someone said, maybe it was Thor, it's just science that they don't understand yet. Wow, look at this place. This place is insane. And I wonder why all of them aren't there. I wonder, because Cersei and Icarus aren't there. So I wonder if they like took up the more modest life while everyone else became sort of like these like idols almost. So it seems weird that, because I don't think Sprite was there either. So I wonder what they were doing in the meantime. Here's I'm blanking on their names. Sorry. Wait, I'm sorry. I looked at the Eternals cast and it says that Millie Bobby Brown is supposed to be in this. She was the third listing on here. I don't know if that's true, but that would be interesting. This is Makari, I believe, by Lauren, and she's very into learning. She has all this like fun memorabilia like from across ages. There's an ankh, there's like a crown in a medieval knight, and there's like this Chinese looking dragon. And this is attached to like a statue of like what could probably be Horus or something. And then there's something back. Oh, that looks like Hermes' staff with the twisting snakes and the wings, which is funny because she's a speedster and Hermes was, I think, the god of travel. He was very fast. And then there's like this weird lotus thing that also looks Grecian, these things. But then these books look pretty modern. That looks like a bag of like Cheetos. So I don't know what time period it is. Oh, I guess like they each have their own room because it looks like we're back on the ship because they have like that little display case with all like the flowers and whatever the fuck. But here Cersei is like not in her usual attire. She's still like wearing different clothes in comparison to these guys who look very modest. I wonder if they're trying to like blend cultures because this guy has like an interesting armor setup while these guys are just kind of like in nothing, very humble outfits, and that hat is interesting. So I'm guessing they're like, I don't think the Middle East. Maybe they're somewhere in Asia, or maybe it could be the Middle East. Maybe they're in Africa. I'm not sure. But I like the cut here between what she's wearing here and then her in this outfit. So I wonder if it's just showing like, because there's a part of her look here that makes it seem like she's disappointed in like what the world that she helped build and find and once said was beautiful has now turned to this, which is interesting because this is like in the heart of like London and it's a pretty popular area, but she looks really disappointed or scared in like what she's seeing. She's like, what has happened? And we've never interfered despite all this death and destruction. She looks quite good here. I almost thought she was a boy, this sprite character, but I believe it is this girl named Leah. I wonder if they're gonna try and make them like more androgynous because they are younger and they are supposed to be like these eternal, ancient, immortal characters. And that looked like Ajax, Salma Hayek, and I love this guy's glasses. I think he looks fantastic. And this is supposed to be Fastos, Brian Tyree Henry. I don't know anything about Fastos, but I guess they're a thing. And this, I wonder, he looks so much like Ezra Miller. It's a little distracting. I don't know this actor, so sorry if that seems like an insult to you guys or like you've known him for a long time. And it's like, what do you mean you've never seen him and you're comparing him to Ezra? There's something about his haircut, especially, that looks very like Constance or whatever his name was in the Fantastical Beasts Harry Potter movies. And that's Gilgamesh, and he's probably holding hands with Angelina Jolie's character. Let me look at Athena. I think I said Thesta. It's Thena. And they're supposed to be a couple. And I wonder what they're looking at. There's like some anatomy creature, or not creature, like statue behind them. So I wonder if they're like, if they ever looked different, or if that's supposed to be a celestial like thing, or if that's someone's like remains that they're trying to heal with magic. I don't know. And this look, I don't know what fire is going on here. Is this supposed to be like Pompeii or something? And she can just stand by. I love the look of the gold like woven on her hands. It looks like, it reminds me of Doctor Strange again, where he was like doing the exercises to like get some strength back in his fingers before he discovered magic. I think Salma Hayek looks gorgeous, and the way it's like, it looks like it appears like woven on their hands, I think is gorgeous. And the way he's like absorbing it. Like, I wonder what they're doing here. Because that's Cersei. That's, I think his name is Dormage, or Fastos is gay, by the way, because he has a husband. All right, never mind. So I thought Fastos and Ajax, Salma Hayek's character, were a thing because they were embracing, but apparently Fastos has a husband, and he's only called Fastos' husband, and he's played by Haz Sleeman, and this is Druig, excuse me, and then that's Makari. I wonder what they're absorbing, if they like get their power from the sun, or if they're just showing off their abilities. I don't know what it is that they're doing. They look really good here. His pectorals are very defined. They almost look like they're doing like a tit bang. But I think that's just the costume. I also think that this guy's, I think his name is Richard, he's in very good shape. And I like that they're doing like a Indian wedding here. They look very cute, and he looks pretty happy. There's something about Cersei that looks a little more sad. I mean, she looks a little, not sad, but she looks a little like in the moment here. But I feel like over here, she might be in the moment, but she looks a little sad in comparison. And I know they're going to have a Bollywood moment because Kingo, I think Kumail, his character, Kumail Nanjiani, his character, as he progresses through the ages, becomes a Bollywood, like, celebrity. So there was a scene in the trailer where he, like, takes off his sunglasses, and I think he has, like, a PA or some assistant next to him. So he is, like, he was maybe on the set of something. And there she is in her green again. And this looks like a much better photo. It's very cute. I wonder who's doing that. And I wonder, okay, I'm curious. And I think that is supposed to be, this is either going to be Icarus and Cersei, because she has dark hair but kind of pale. And then blue is Icarus's color. So maybe this is during their wedding. And then he's doing one of his performances to celebrate. But I wonder, it seems like their magic comes with a cost. So in order for this character, whoever that is, I can't tell who it is by just their hand and what they're wearing. But it looks like they are taking the water, the substance, from the tree, and then the tree starts to like deteriorate and disappear. So their magic seems to have some sort of cost, maybe? Or if he's just like able to like change, or he or her is able to change like the atoms of a object and change it from a tree and just make it into water. I'm not sure, because there was already water inside. And here's Kumail, and he looks like he's using his gold. I don't know what this creature is. Oh, they all have gold eyes for some reason. Is that supposed to be Pompeii? Also, it's like gold. What's the K? Your name doesn't start with a K. And these guys are like passed out, so you're living a very strange life, Sprite. So I went back a little far. So I wonder what this thing is that's after them. I don't know if that's like a celestial or something that was summoned. I think the celestials are supposed to be the bad guys, or they were like the first creators. There's the Eternals, and then there's like the Deviants, I think they're called. I don't know if they'll change the name. But it looks like whoever it is controlling these poor Puritan characters. I'm not sure what they are. But they all have guns, and they all eyes are glowing, which is weird because their power was supposed to be like gold related. There's something weird going on with this explosion. Like maybe that's just how I've never actually seen a live volcano explode, but there's something about the gold here that reminds me of the Eternals characters. And then the way there's an explosion up there that makes it seem like they're fighting in a volcano, possibly. Or they possibly were trying to stop it getting triggered. Like, I don't know if that's like a person and that's also a person. So they're trying to like minimize the volcano damage by interfering, even though they said they wouldn't. And I don't know what Sprite's doing, but you should not be drinking, sweetheart. I mean, I guess you're eternal, so you're just a child living it up. And there's Kit Harington's character, who is called the Black Knight, who I don't know if they are a eternal or not. They have a different name. So maybe he's just like been a friend. And obviously something seems to be coming. Maybe it's a deviant, maybe it's celestial. This is a beautiful like power shot of them all. I really like Druig's, I believe that's Druig. Yeah, Druig's character's stance. I think Fastos also looks very like humble and like I'm here to serve. He looks like I'm a little judgy. They look a little like Sprite looks a little apprehensive. Cersei's like hopeful. Ajax just looks like I am your queen, ready for anything. Athena looks on the fence. I guess Icarus is her son because they are wearing similar colors. And Gilgamesh is always going to be by Athena's side because they're married or romantically interested in each other at least. And then these two, they just look like they're doing like the hero stance, like ready for action, possibly. It ended when you said goodbye. So why are you saying goodbye? Please don't leave. You just got here. I'm excited for this. I hope this does well. I think it looks, I feel like we're going on a world journey and we're going to see through the generations. I wonder who this guy is who's inviting all these guys into their house. This clearly is modern day because they're talking about Iron Man. And, oh, maybe this is their house because she's at the head of the table and he looks like he just got done preparing the food, possibly. But I don't know who this guy is. I guess it's just a friend, some sort of informant that will play some role in the movie. And Gilgamesh said, oh, you're welcome. Who's going to lead the Avengers? I could. Has Icarus ever led the Avengers in the comics? Let me know. I have never heard of this character, so I'm not sure if he ever does. I don't know. I'm pretty sure the Eternals and the Avengers must have interacted at some point in the comics. So I wonder what's going to happen with that. If there's ever going to be like an Eternals versus the Avengers, like, you know how there's been X-Men versus the Avengers comics. I wonder if there'll be something like that here, because maybe the Avengers will be like, you guys have been here and just like spying on us and intervening when you saw fit, but not when you really should have intervened. Lots of people have died on your watch because you didn't intervene. So I wonder if there's going to be some like conflict if the two teams ever do meet up. I don't know if I'd want him as leader, but he definitely has the look of the leader. But I like how Angelina Jolie's just like, haha. He's like, oh, come on, guys. And it's like, nah, brah. So what did you guys think? I think that looked quite good. This has been going on for quite a bit, my analysis. Hope you don't mind. I also hope I don't sound like too disgusting or look too swollen in the eyes. But I think this is going to be a really good movie. I think, again, it's funny that the New Gods movie for DC Warner Brothers has been in the talks for quite some time. And once again, Marvel is beating them to the punch by getting the Eternals out there, which I think is supposed to be like a parallel to the New Gods in some shape or form, because there's the New Gods and there's Old Gods, and then there's like, I forget what they're called, but the like, I remember the Young Justice Dream mentioned it, Anti-Life, you know, Apocalypse, and those type of characters. And so I'm curious to see how Eternals is going to handle sort of like the space kind of odyssey adventure, but coming to Earth. I'd love to see them before they get to Earth. I hope we get like a good portion of them like in space doing something else before they like settle on Earth, because Earth is still gonna, it's probably considered like a young planet, but I wonder why they chose it to like settle down on. Like, I wonder what Cersei saw, and I'm excited to learn more about these characters. I might have to do a deep dive lore into learning more about them, because I'm still trying to like learn their names and everything, but I still think there's quite a diverse cast here, not just in terms of ethnicity, which is always good, but I think in terms of personalities and power sets and like what their roles are going to be. So I'm excited for that. What did you guys think? Let me know down below. I've heard from Grace Randolph that not a lot of the Eternals comics have been good, but if you guys have been a fan of them in the comics, let me know what you would recommend in terms of a volume to read so I can maybe get more tidbits about their characters. And I'll see you guys in the next one, okay? Bye-bye.